Hello, Lee Murira, author and founder of From Means to Ends, where I teach people effective self-development, not self-help. I always emphasize the self-development part because I don't want to be confused for just another self-help mentor or coach coming along. Because if anything, in all what I teach, I'm literally against self-help, and I'm bitterly so against that because it literally I wasted a lot, few years of my life on the self-help road, trying to find out the secrets, trying to find out the prerequisites, only to find that I probably maybe was worse off from when I started the journey. So self-development, right? As you can see, I'm holding this baby here in my hand. This was my second book, The Business of Life. And I want to talk about the business of life today because I've had other people asking like, oh, you know what, in your book, The Business of Life, is it about business? No, it's not about conventional business as we know it. But it is what it says on the cover, the business of life. Life, right? When I wrote this book, or this guide rather, I had come to a point where I had finished my first book, which was From Means to Ends, and of course, From Means to Ends, some of you who have read From Means to Ends, you'll find that it gives you the fundamentals about what you need to know in self-development. But when you finish that, then that's not the be-all and all. There's always like, okay, so what's next? And that was the same thing to me as well, which led me to writing this guide, The Business of Life, that I'm talking about today. I knew that I now had to change my performance. I had to now change my aims and everything else like that. And literally my whole life had to change. But the question was, okay, I want my life to be a success. And to be successful, what must happen? And I had to be very honest so that at least I didn't, sort of mislead myself again and find myself delving into self-help material again, hyping me and telling me this or that. No, I said, no, I need, if anything, a success formula. Now, if you search anywhere you search, you'll find that there's many success formulas or so-called, and sort of many authors and mentors claiming and literally sort of dishing them out a dime a dozen. Those formulas, they basically just make you feel good self-help. You would read them, you will probably maybe caught a few things in there and say, okay, look, this is how I'm going to become. But no, it never happens like that. Right? Cut a long story short. For me, I said, look, if I want to be a success, what is there, what is out there that I can look at and probably emulate so that I can be a success? Okay, I knew for a fact that I could not go on and say, oh, let me read the biography of Bill Gates, let me read the biography of Richard Branson, because their situations were totally different from my situation. Hey, for crying out loud, I was born and bred in a third world. I come from poverty. I came to the UK literally over 10 years ago in search of the proverbial. So reading about, for example, the gurus here would be of little relevance to me because my situation and circumstances growing up were totally different. But I needed something that would provide me a blueprint and roadmap towards the progression of what I wanted to get. And as with business, I've always been interested in business from an early age. Anyway, I've always been sort of on the enterprise end of things. I started looking at businesses, and business is worthy of the name. If you just set up any gig that you set up, that's it. It depends on how very prepared or organized you are. As we all know that most businesses, they fail within the first sort of 3 years or something like that. And if we look back from the ones between the ones that fail and the ones that keep on progressing, there is one difference. There is the ones that progress more and more has and have a solid plan in place which they follow. So I looked at the most interesting businesses, I looked at their business plans, and I said, oh, this is a winning formula. But I am not in the conventional business at the moment, or the objectives that I had for what I wanted. But the formula and the business plans of those successful businesses, it brought a new horizon and dimension to me. I was like, okay, if this is the plan to, multi-corporations that are worth billions and billions in value, if this is all the plan that they have, then I think I need to have a plan like that in my life as well. Now, if I ask you the same thing, you'll probably maybe tell me that, well, you do have a plan. If I probe you further to say, okay, tell me, what is your plan? You are going to tell me about the ideas that you have of your life, the ideas that you want to do, and where you see yourself in the near future or long future. And if I further press you on that, to say, okay, tell you what, can you actually write for me the plan down for me? You will struggle. Any idea that refuses to leave the brain cell in the mind that you holds it is pretty much not worthy even occupying that space in your brain, because it will not live, it will never translate into anything tangible. So I looked at the businesses, the business plans, and I said, wow, this is a great template for success. So instead of drafting a conventional business plan on using those templates, I started drafting the business of life using the same business ethics and the same business fundamentals, and that gave birth to this book here, The Business of Life. Very short guide, and to quickly give you a rundown of this guide, you know where you want. I hope you know where you want to go, because if you don't know where you want to go, it's pretty much going to be pointless to you even to have a guide that's not pretty much going to help you, because if you don't know where you want to end, you're pretty much going to end up somewhere, and it may well not be exactly where you want to end. There's a very funny quote that I included in this. I think it was from in the book by Lewis Carroll, Alice in Wonderland. All right. Would you tell me, please, which way I ought to go from here, said Alice. That depends a good deal on where you want to get to, replied the cat. I don't much care where, said Alice. Then it doesn't matter much which way you go, said the cat. I like this quote very much, because if you don't know where you want to go, it doesn't matter whichever direction you take. It's not going to make any difference. You are going to end up somewhere, yes, but then it may not be somewhere that you want to. But if you still don't know where you want to get, how then are you going to be on the right course? This is the importance of having a plan in your life. This is the importance of having a plan. I have to emphasize, when I say a plan, I don't mean the thoughts that you hold. I mean a plan written for that matter. The Business of Life is a business template. And if you look through it and read through it, you will find that each chapter, it appears exactly the same way that you'd find the fundamentals laid out in a business plan. Of course, the first chapter in here is executive summary. Now, the interesting thing about the executive summary of any business is the first page that you read when you open and start reading a business plan. It is the very first page. But even though it's the first page, the executive summary is written last. But it comes first. In your life, or in my life at the time, I looked at my life, I said, okay, so what is my executive summary? What is the one thing that I want to see happen in my life? What is the summation of everything else that I want to do? What are my what is my mission, my aims, my objectives? I had to condense that all down. Same with you. You have to know where you want to end, and that is your executive summary. Very, very important and very fundamental. If you don't know what your executive summary is in the business of your life, you are going to struggle in terms of direction. Now, as with business, you have to research your market. You have to do your market research. You have to research even your competitors. And using that and putting that in the business of life, you still have to do a market research. But the market research is the ideas that you hold and what you want to do. How are they playing out in the world as it stands today? What stands in contrast? What stands in competition against you and those ideas? There's a lot that goes in the market research. We go to the competition. I even go to analyze the SWOT analysis of a business, which is the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. And also exploring the future developments, which is my favorite part of the book, future developments. Because in life, or as in business, the future developments are the main and real opportunities of any successful and well-to-do business. So even in your life, whatever you're doing right now, there's room for progress. There's room to do more. There's room to do better. But we need to identify that what can be or what are the future developments along what you are doing. So the business of life is not about business. It is about your life. It is about you having a plan. It is about you having a success formula that has been proven and that is followed by those multinationals that you probably maybe use. I don't know whatever phone you use, but it's pretty much from one of the multinationals that we're talking about. It's those kind of business plans, those kind of plans that they follow, not just the plans in the head. Like, oh no, this is what I wish to do, this is what I'm going to do, and I hope it all plays out and pans out very well. It doesn't. A plan and written for that matter. So the business of life, I would recommend you get yourself this guide. I would recommend you sort of browse through and see. For me, it made a difference because when I literally put my life in context and emulating the business plan formula, I became very competent. I started thinking of my life as a business, and I quickly realized that all successful businesses, apart from sort of having a plan which they follow, they also make decisions quickly and only change them slowly if they have to, according to how the market predicts. But my life was pretty much haphazard. I would make decisions, if at all, very slowly, and change them all too frequent. So now that's just a perfect recipe and formula for disaster and failure. But when you go through the business of life, you will know where to put first things first. You will know how to participate. You will know how to anticipate the future and accept the what is. You will know and discover what future opportunities and future developments lie ahead of you. So the business of life will teach you and it will guide you to make the business of your life a successful business and a very competitive business at it. A business with direction, a business that has got aims, that has got values, a business that has got a mission plan. And we will start with your executive summary. Thank you for taking your time and listening to me talking about my second book, The Business of Life. And hopefully you will find the ideas in this guide applicable in your life, in the business of your life, and be able to measure the results that you get from it. Thank you very much. Lee Murwira from Means to Ends. If you want more videos, more free videos, or more coaching material, go to my website, www.leemurwira.com. You will get more free course materials there. or you can just sign up on this video somewhere, and we'll send you more guiding videos, more free videos, and we'll interact maybe on chat row or anything and help each other along the way. Thank you very much. Lee Murwira, thank you.